Before learning Yul Gok Tul, you need to know all the prerequisite fundamental movements in the pattern. Now, I've covered most of these in previous lessons, and I've listed those lessons in the description below. But there's one combination that I need to show you before proceeding to teach you Yul Gok Tul, and that involves a side piercing kick. So this is how you do the combination. You go into a right walking stance with an obverse punch, because this is how it's done in the pattern. You do a bending ready stance by bringing your left leg forward about shoulder width before you raise it and drop into the bending ready stance. You do a side piercing kick with a punch, and then use full sine wave as you do a front elbow strike, which I showed you in lesson 31. Now pay attention to the footwork. The right foot must pivot 3 times. When you're in bending ready stance, your foot's pointing to the side, and then you pivot, pivot back, and pivot yet again to do the front elbow strike. Notice this is different in One-Yo Tul, where you do a bending ready stance side kick, but then you go to L stance, knife and guarding block, so there's no need to pivot the right foot again. But in Yul Gok, you do walking stance, so you need to pivot it to get into that position, but that helps generate power in the front elbow strike, so it helps. Now you need to do the combination the other way, and in the pattern, there's no need to step with the front or rear leg, you just pivot with the front leg. So that means you drag the right foot in a shoulder width distance before you drop into the bending ready stance. Then you do side piercing kick with the punch, and then sine wave front elbow strike. Now I suggest you practice that as a drill. Now you're ready to learn Yul Gok Tul. So you start in a parallel ready stance position, and you move your left leg out into sitting stance, extending the left arm in line with your shoulder. This is not a punch or a block, it's just an extension of the arm. So there's no need to get power. You just bring the arm up like that. Now I've often seen students move their arm in a funny way like this. It's not necessary. And sometimes I see people crossing to bring the arm up. Again, it's not necessary. It's just a simple extension. Just do it the simplest way possible, like that. So breathe out as you do that. You relax and breathe out. And then 2 fast punches, like that. Then you bring your feet together and step to the right. And as you move your right foot, you extend with the right fist. Again, in line with your shoulder, but the punches have to be on the center line. Fast motion. Now just a word about how you step across. You don't stay flat like this. You need to do a bit of sine wave. And your feet do not move in a straight line. They move in a slight curve, out in, out in. Okay? So you move like this. Then you do 2 fast punches. Then you move your right foot and turn to a 45-degree angle to your right to do an inner forearm middle block. But you've got to bring the right foot in so you balance with the left foot and then perform the middle block. Hold the arm in that position as you do a low front snap kick followed by 2 fast punches. And then you do the same at a 45-degree angle to your left. So you've got to pull back your front leg, balance on the rear leg, and then pivot, middle block. And then you do the same. Now you pull back your front leg, pivot on the rear foot, and turn forward to do a palm hooking block as a middle block. The next 2 movements are done in connecting motion, which means it's 1 breath, 1 sine wave, which I showed you before. So you do a hooking block punch, like that. And you repeat that combination, hooking block, then hooking block punch. And then you go forward to do another punch. So now you do the combination which I showed you earlier with the side kick. So you go into bending ready stance, and then you do side kick, elbow strike. And you do it the other way. Now you turn to your left, pivot slightly with the front foot, then go into L stance, twin knife hand block, followed by walking stance, straight fingertip thrust. And then pivot right round, do the same, twin knife hand block, straight fingertip thrust. Pivot the rear foot slightly, and then pivot again as you do walking stance, high block with the outer forearm, followed by a middle punch. It's like the two movements in Dosan, first two movements. And then you repeat, high block, middle punch. Now you jump into X stance, doing a back fist high side strike like I showed you in the previous lesson, like that. Pivot both feet, wind up for a high double forearm block. Bring the feet together, pivoting slightly, then when you change leg, you pivot again, high block, doing a double forearm block. And then you return by stepping with your left foot to ready stance. So that's Yul Gok Tul. So here it is in full. So I explained how to do Yul Gok Tul very quickly, and I didn't go into detail about how to do each individual movement. As I said before, I've already explained these in previous lessons. So please check the description below and watch those lessons so that you know how to do each movement properly. So good luck with your practice, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.